Alright, for the beginning of this video, I'm going to share a story by Shakespeare named Macbeth. Now for reference, Macbeth is a warrior coming back from war at this point. You see, the beginning of the story starts like this. Macbeth and his friend Banquo return from war. The two of them are met with witches, and these witches give Macbeth two great prophecies. The first being that he will be given a great title, and the second is that he will become king. Now when Macbeth gets home and tells his wife about all these great things that he was prophesied for, they are both ambitious to becoming king and queen together. So they plan to murder the king, to move up in the ranks and become king and queen. You see, after doing this, and after killing the king, Macbeth's mental health begins to decline rapidly. He remembers his friend Banquo's prophecy, which states that Banquo's children will be king, and to control his spot as king, Macbeth sends murderers to kill Banquo and his only son, which is a clear definite that Macbeth's mental health is just declining. And after killing Banquo, Macbeth loses all sense of morality and becomes a terrible ruler. And because of this, a man named Macduff flees from the country out of Macbeth's ruling. Now this is the whole beginning to the entire idea of the story. You see, because Macbeth revisits the witches and they give Macbeth more prophecies. Now the most notable being, beware of Macduff. Now this obviously shot Macbeth with a whole bunch of fear. This made him worry about his spot as king and his title, everything that he's built up so far, even if it was for bad. He is scared for his ranking and doesn't want anything to manipulate it. So he hears this prophecy and he makes a plan. And this plan was to send murderers to Macduff's castle and kill his entire family. Now you see, after doing so, Macduff, who was not in the same country, was given some news from a newsman, obviously, and this news was of the death of his family. Now Macduff, obviously feeling just great emotions, terrible emotions, does something that most people wouldn't even think of doing. Most men wouldn't even think of doing. You see, Macduff had received this news from another person, and this person told him to deal with it, in a sense. He basically told him to, be a man, grow up, and all that stuff like that. But Macduff said something that isn't common in this day and age, and it wasn't even common back then. You see, Macduff said, "I must feel it as a man." Now let me break this down for you. Instead of shoving his emotions away, putting all this, grief and terrible things, just push it away, push it aside, and, deal with it later or don't deal with it at all. Macbeth said that he is going to feel it. He wants to feel his emotions. He wants to truly understand his emotions, sit with it. He wants, instead of being this quote unquote masculine man that everyone is saying nowadays, he wants to feel what he's feeling. He doesn't want to suppress what he's feeling. He wants to feel it. He wants to actually understand his emotions. He wants to know what is wrong. Obviously, I'm pretty sure you know what's wrong, but in the sense, he wants to know. He's not going to suppress his emotions. He's still a man. He still is a very masculine man. But he does something that is just so much different, so different to what people do nowadays. Instead of pushing it away like everyone else, he decides that he wants to feel it as a man. You see, what does this mean? What can you even learn out of this? What is this like? It's just so many things that you need to understand, that you can understand from this. Now the first thing, there's three things that you can understand from this, that you can get out of this. And the first is that as men, we are allowed to feel. We're allowed to feel our emotions. It's just as Macduff has done. His whole family was killed, murdered, and he felt his emotions. He didn't suppress it. If you're feeling if you're having a bad day, if someone made you angry, if something like this happened, I'm not saying that you should be a crybaby about it, whine about it all the time, but you are allowed to feel this emotion. You're allowed to understand it and sit with it, truly figure out what's going wrong, and instead of fixing it immediately, putting a name to it is what you should do. Putting a name to your emotions and understanding, like, this is a bad emotion. Understanding that maybe I shouldn't be feeling this right now, or this is why I'm feeling this right now. How can I stop it? You see, as men, we are allowed to feel emotions. This is obvious. And nowadays, everyone just says suppress your emotions. Don't even think about emotions. Just be a stoic, 100%. And that is just completely wrong. Now, the second thing that you can learn from this is that you can turn your pain into purpose. And we've seen this before. I'm sure you've heard of, these memes or these videos of teenagers who, got broken up with and they go to the gym. You see, out of this pain that they felt, they used it in such a healthy way, and they go to the gym. Now, this is what you can do with any type of pain that, you have. If you have pain, you can turn it into purpose. You can have something purposeful out of this pain and this negative emotion that you have, right? You see, pain doesn't have to be a block, a roadblock, something that stops you immediately. It can be something that helps you grow. It helps you reveal yourself. You see, pain is something remarkable, and it's something that people most commonly neglect. It's when you're in pain and you don't use it for purpose. You see, you should use it for purpose. Use it for good use. Use this pain to learn and to understand more and more things just in general for life. Now, you see, the third thing that you can learn from this is that you need to face the truth head on. There's going to be bad news in your life. There's going to be bad times. And this truth, this actual fact that there's something bad going to happen. Whether it's, minute, that you need to like take a cold shower or something like that. Someone's telling you to go jump over the cliff into the water. Someone's telling you to, face your fears. Or if you're actually going to, or are going through something terrible, whether it be a death of a loved one, something happened to you, something happened to your loved ones, something happened that just, makes everything 10 times worse. You need to face the truth head on and be able to, face the fact that it's happening, but use it to turn this pain and bad times into some sort of purpose and allow yourself to feel. Now, you see, the moral of the story is, although Macbeth experienced unimaginable grief, pain that people should never, have to endure and experience ever, he didn't suppress or push through the pain to appear strong or masculine. You see, instead, he chose to fully embrace this pain. He chose to fully feel his emotions. You see, he embraced his sorrow, his pain, and acknowledged it. He acknowledged the fact that this is a terrible thing, and I'm allowed to feel it. And it allowed him to sit with this emotion and understand what he's feeling and himself as a whole. And in doing so, he showed true strength, even as a man, by, showing his emotion and by feeling his emotions, showing that the true purpose and the true idea to masculinity lies in vulnerability and emotional honesty. You see, you're allowed to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is where growth comes from. Emotional honesty is where revealing yourself comes from. And these things are just so beautiful, so amazing. This is what true masculinity is. It's allowing yourself to feel these emotions, be vulnerable, and have emotional honesty. You see, I hope that you can truly learn from this. If you like this video, please subscribe, like this video, and go to my YouTube channel and just check out all the other videos that I have. If you need some extra help, I have a course on social media, how to conquer addiction, and how to become a positive thinker. Those are on my website, in my YouTube bio link. And I'm willing to help you so much. Thank you for listening, and stay positive.